I would like to start off by asking a few questions about what you believe. Raise your hand if you're Christian. Well, you're wrong. Raise your hand if you consider yourself Republican. Well, you're wrong again. How many of you like pizza? Yeah, you're wrong. And how many of you like the color blue? Again, you're wrong. What did I just do? Well, I disregarded all of your opinions, like in a split second, without even understanding your reasoning, without even asking you why you believe the way you believe. Well, in today's world, that's how a lot of us are. We don't think about other people's opinions, and we don't regard other people the way that they believe. We just disregard everything because it's not what we believe, and we don't want to believe anything or listen to anything that isn't our original opinion. So I am Republican, I'm Christian, and I believe in pro-life. These are just a few of my personal beliefs. What does this mean to you? Absolutely nothing. It doesn't mean anything to you, and it shouldn't influence the way you think at all. Each and every person has their own beliefs and their own way of looking at specific subjects. In a world full of hatred and closed-minded people, it's important to know what you believe, but also to be open to other people's beliefs at the same time. So, in this speech, I encourage you to remember what you believe and remember your own opinions, and to just remember, I'm not here to persuade you into specific thinking, but to persuade you into a new way of thinking to be more open to more beliefs. First, I would like to talk about Thanksgiving dinners. Oops. So, as you can see here, they're nicely sitting and talking at a dinner. According to Newsmax.com, 63% of people do not like to talk about politics at dinner, and 72% of people avoid politics discussions in general. Why is this? It seems very ridiculous to me, because in my family, we talk about politics, we talk about religion, because we're open to it. We're open to hearing about each other's opinions, and we're open to hearing different viewpoints on the subject. If you can't talk about politics with your family, how are you going to talk about politics in the real world? Your family is there to support you, and they're the ones that are closest to you and are going to understand you. So if you can't talk about it then, how are you going to talk about it when you're off into a public setting like so? I believe that by opening up discussions like politics at home, it can show the child that even if that family disagrees as well. So hopefully next time you have Thanksgiving dinner, it won't turn out to be like this. So politics shouldn't be avoided at the dinner table just because there are different opinions to be being presented, just because it's a difficult subject to talk about. But not only is politics a difficult subject for many people, but so is religion. So I'm Christian, like I stated before. There's a lot of stereotyping around Christianity and what we believe. Yes, I believe in God. Yes, I believe in sin. And that there's a lot of it in this world today. Yes, I believe in pro-life. But with all of this, I believe in loving one another and understanding each other. Loving one another may seem cliche, but it is true. If we were to love one another and put aside our different opinions just to see the other side of the viewpoints, we wouldn't have as much hatred in the world today. According to ChristianityToday.com, 80% of Americans consider themselves Christian. But out of a study done by the Pew Research Center, only 75% of 1,000 people are willing to talk about, 75% of the people are not willing to talk about their religious beliefs outside in a public setting. Why is this? Don't know. But I don't think it's right. If you have your own opinions, you should be open to spreading them and to share them, but you need to be open to hearing other people's opinions as well. According to my audience analysis, when I asked if you're open to learn about other religions, only 33% were not open to learning other religions, which is kind of ridiculous, not to be rude, but if you're basically doing what I did at the beginning of my speech and tell you that you're wrong without even hearing your viewpoints. You're not open to hearing the religions or the religious beliefs. You're just disregarding them because they're different than your own. When I asked how upset you were when you told wrong, 77.7% of the people in this class were very upset when they were told that they are wrong. Well, I just told you you're wrong, and by disregarding other people's religious views, you're basically telling them wrong without even hearing their viewpoints. According to nytimes.com, revealed that 75% of people did not have religious conversations at all in public. Religion is decreasing as a conversation topic, and it is shown to be an uncomfortable topic for many. Now that we've looked at specific examples, let's look at opinion topics as a whole. Why are opinion topics so hard to talk about? Well, in reality, people don't want to be told that they're wrong, and they don't want to hear other people's viewpoints because they're different than their own. According to AutumnAskFidel.com, one leading cause of people not wanting to talk about these topics is criticism. Criticism in this world today is very strong. There's a lot of it out there. But without criticism, you have to be open to other people opinions, and without knowing that there's going to be criticism, you've got to prepare yourself for that. People are shy to talk about their opinions of being fear of being ridiculed. But one big part of criticism is opinion. They're criticizing you because your opinion is different than theirs. I've criticized people because of their opinion without hearing them before. I'll admit it. And I'm sure all of us have too. We automatically criticize someone because their opinion is different. Now, you don't really have the opportunity to have a conversation with me about specific things, but in the world today, I feel like it's very important that we all go out and have conversations with different people about our different opinions. According to Paul on EnglishOutsideTheBox.com, the most effective ways to express your opinion and to have civilized conversation is to politely explain your opinion and then listen to the other person. Listen is a big part of it. If you're going to expect someone to listen to your opinion, you need to be open to listening to theirs, not just to disregard it or blank space because they're not the same as you. If you expect people to listen to your opinions, you have to be hearing theirs, even if you do not agree. Paul also states that it's important to explain why you disagree on certain points. By offering your explanation, you are offering the other person a chance to see your way of thinking, then the other person has a chance to explain their thinking. One example that I've seen is this right here. There's a shape on the floor drawn. If you're standing, this is person A, that's person B. If you're standing on person A's point of view, you see a 6. But if you go the other side and you look at person B, that person's seeing a 9. They're arguing back and forth about what it is. Now, if you look at it from this point, person A, you'll see a 6. Now, but person B is arguing because they see a 9. Why is this? Because they're not taking the time to go to the other sides and see the other person's side of the view. They're not taking the time to see the other person's opinion and let them explain what they see and why they see it that way. Whether or not you agree with the person, it is important to remember that your opinions mean a lot to them and just as much as they mean to you. Just remember to be polite while having these conversations. I would like to share a quote from Kenneth Silva. Don't let someone's opinion change you into someone you're not. To add to that, I would also like to add that you also don't let it change you, but be open to listening to it, because that's how civilized conversations are supposed to happen. In conclusion, I'm not here to persuade you into a specific belief, but instead to encourage you to be open to different viewpoints, even when they are different than your own. I would like to end by asking, what do you believe?